even if developers wanted to create more multifamily developments, zoning regulations may prevent them from doing so.
With a statewide shortage of about 250,000 housing units, apartments are seen as the more affordable and faster way to fill that gap. But builders say cities are shutting them out. A Republican state lawmaker from Phoenix wants to change that by overriding or changing local zoning regulations. We'll get into that with State Senator Steve Kaiser. Welcome to Sunday Square Off.
Thank you for having me. This is a really important bill, so I appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. It's an important issue. Your bill, SB 1117, should come up for a vote before the full Senate this week. Consideration in the House after that. Let's start at the beginning. What's the specific problem you're trying to solve here?
Yeah, thank you. So we alluded to it in the beginning. We're short about 270,000 homes statewide. Nationwide, we're short 6.5 million. So this is a nationwide problem. Our rental market is actually 90% occupied, which is a 40-year high. And this is why we're seeing rent increases go up so much. But our average home price is 20% higher than the national average. Our average rental price is 18% higher than the national average. So we have a structural problem in Arizona that we need to fix.
And so how will this bill accomplish that? And we talked about this beforehand. I'm going to ask you not to get into the arcane zoning regulations.
Yeah, thank you. We have limited time, but basically we did about a 6-month study committee based on a bill that we passed last year to study this complex topic. And what we found throughout was that zoning is the #1 barrier to building faster. And really what I'm focused on is all aspects of building: market rate, affordable, luxury. We don't have enough variety in our housing market.
And to talk about affordable housing, because this is often referred to as affordable housing. What does that mean to you?
The term affordable housing I don't like because it puts a different picture in different people's minds. What I'm trying to do is increase our housing supply stock. So we have a supply and demand problem, and we need to correct that by building more. And that means building more of everything. But what we don't have, we have no starter homes anymore. Average home price, $470,000. That's not a starter home. So we need smaller lot sizes, being allowed to build on smaller lot sizes. We're not forcing the city. We're just saying, let us build smaller lot sizes so we can have those starter homes too.
If this bill does become law as written, what guarantees are there that developers will build affordable housing, because we see everything going toward the higher end of the market?
Sure, and there's a reason they're only building high-end stuff right now, and it's due to local regulations and zoning, where the cities mandate that they have to have all these fancy treatments on the homes or the apartments. But really what you'll see in affordability, #1, you'll have the supply and demand balance itself out, so that'll create affordability. You'll also see things like accessory dwelling units, so casitas in the backyard, very affordable option for seniors and young adults. You're going to see smaller lot sizes, so that starter home can actually happen. You're also going to see single room occupancies. This is going to be a great solution for seniors where they have a shared kitchen, shared bath, but they can do a long-term rent of a room. So there's lots of little affordable nuggets within the bill.
And to be clear, you say you're going to see, but ultimately it's up to the builders and developers to decide what they're going to build.
Exactly, yeah, and the market will dictate what happens, yeah.
So the bill is widely supported by builders and developers. It is strongly opposed by the cities. They argue local control. We are the ones who should decide what our cities and towns are going to look like.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
So what's interesting, we have a big amendment coming up to the floor on Monday in the Senate, and the only time where we tell cities in the bill as currently written is the by right piece, where we say you can take commercially zoned land, so we're using their zoning, next to the light rail and flip it to residential. That was the only time we said that. The rest of the bill says we're still going to use your zoning process. We're going to have an expedited process. So you have to get rezoning done in 180 days. You can't take 2 years to do rezoning, things like that. So we're putting some shot clocks on it. We're not taking over control. We're just saying, we're just trying to get it done faster, loosen it up a little bit. So they're still using their zoning. They're still using their general plans, things like that.
Do you want to get calls from angry neighbors instead of the city council person about a 10-story high-rise going up in a residential housing area?
Yeah, and what's interesting, the amendment that's coming on Monday is stripping that by right piece out. That's called by right, where it says you can build this commercially zoned land into residential. But what's fascinating is you could by right build a 20-story commercial office building right now in that space with 0 public input. What we were trying to do, which has now been removed from the bill, is to say you could build a 7-story but that's not even happening. There's very little apartment piece in this bill anymore.
Okay, so you mentioned an amendment coming on Monday. You'll need Governor Hobbs' support. She has to sign the bill.
Absolutely.
Have you talked to anybody on her team about this legislation?
Yes, we've been working with her staff on this. They've been following the bill closely. This bill is fascinating from the coalition that we have supporting this. We have very progressive groups. We have very conservative groups that all have signed in support of this bill. And so that should tell you that we're on to something really great here. The only people that don't like it are city mayors and city councils and city planners, because we're taking just a little bit of control and putting it back into the free market.
Well, the only people, those are some pretty powerful people.
I know. There's about 90 of them.
And so do you believe this amendment that's going to be introduced on Monday will satisfy the concerns of Governor Hobbs and her team?
So right now, I've been getting positive feedback from the bill as written. So with this amendment is actually to get more members on board. So we have positive support. I think it'll get out of the Senate. It will be bipartisan for sure. We're going to lose some R's, we're going to lose some D's, and then it's on to the House.
Okay, any other ideas up your sleeve?
I really just want to focus on getting our seniors. They're our fastest growing homeless population. I really think a lot of these solutions, the SROs and the ADUs, are going to be great solutions for them. I don't want my kids, I've got 3 boys, I don't want them to have to move out of state because Arizona becomes so unaffordable that they can't live here anymore. And that's my biggest fear. I want everyone to have a home, and I want them to have a good job. And that's what we're trying to do with this bill.
All right. Senator Steve Kaiser, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.